It's time for everybody's favorite, Ray2KScam.com's first installment of Come On, Man! Up first, we have Carrie Thiel ripping apart lobbyist Jack Corey from the Florida Greyhound Association. Take a listen.
The industry floated a bill to legalize cocaine, and again, Mr. Corey said you can get a nanogram of cocaine from touching a $20 bill. He really said that.
But as usual, lying Carrie Thiel is wrong because we have evidence to the contrary. Dr. Thomas Tobin, one of the foremost experts on environmental contamination, especially cocaine in animals, says similarly 6 of 8 bills, 75% taken from civic dignitaries in Orlando, Florida, showed detectable amounts of cocaine. Which then leads us to this. Lying Carrie Thiel. Come on, man! Next up, we have Lisa Sapp from Jacksonville, Florida, a concerned citizen. At the CRC meeting, 8,000 greyhounds endure lives of confinement at Florida tracks. Their cages are barely large enough for them to stand up or turn around. They are confined for 20 to 30 hours a day. This is inhumane. Lisa Sapp, concerned citizen, maybe you should concern yourself with how many hours are in a day. 30 hours a day in the cage? Lisa Sapp of Jacksonville. Come on, man. Next up, we have a picture of a dog. The picture looks old, but that cast looks brand new. If you see the red arrow, it looks to me like this is Photoshop. This is from Diane Wiles from page 177 of the Fort Lauderdale CRC meeting. Provided this, though, with no ear tattoo or no racing name to verify this dog. So, Diane Wiles, come on, man. And next we have everybody's favorite punching bag, Carlos Guillermo Smith, who claims that the dogs are all juiced on cocaine. He even said he could sniff every dollar bill in his pocket and every button on an ATM in Tallahassee and still not test positive. Well, sorry, Carlos. Dr. Tobin in your own backyard says 6 of 8 bills taken from dignitaries in Orlando showed detectable amounts of cocaine. Do you ever tell the truth, son? Carlos Guillermo Smith. Come on, man. Next we have lying Dana Young, exploiting another greyhound who she claims was doped with testosterone during her racing career and has serious health problems as a result. Kevin Rader said, has any committee in this body heard from anyone in the pari-mutuel wagering division to explain why they would allow all of this alleged pumping dogs full of performance-enhancing steroids? No. Why? Because the division closely regulates the greyhound industry. Not only do they prohibit giving dogs performance-enhancing drugs, they regulate everything. But then when absolutely presented with the evidence from the experts, which she is not, we heard crickets. No response. There is absolutely no clinical evidence that the use of testosterone to delay estrus in female racing greyhounds is harmful to the dogs when given at the right dosage. This topic is addressed in the internationally recognized Greyhound Care textbook, The Care of the Racing and Retired Greyhound. Also, Linda Blythe, DVM, PhD, in that book writes, preventing greyhound female from cycling actually prevents damage to her musculoskeletal system, keeps her from injuring herself. Once again, we have another one that can't tell the truth. Lying Dana Young. Come on, man. The misinformation parade continues with crooked Tom Lee, the architect of Prop 67, where he was forced to admit on March 20th on the floor of the CRC that his loss of revenue homework was over 2 years old. Commissioner Bruce stated that a simple phone call showed the vast contradiction pertaining to Lee's quote-unquote loss of revenue. Commissioner Joyner forced him to admit that his proof was indeed 2+ years old, and then tiptoeing around the question as if it can be resolved by legislature. Now he's trying a last-ditch effort to piggyback on unrelated props that bear no relation to greyhounds. This poorly written and even more poorly investigated proposal reeks of the sham that it is. Tom Lee, even though you were praying that nobody found out your scam, they did. Tom Lee, crooked Tom Lee, come on, man. There's only one more piece of work that lies more than this lady that we have here, Katie McFall from the Humane Society of the United States. You can see Miss McFall at just about every CRC meeting, complaining about a dog dies every 3 days on a Florida track, when her organization puts down thousands of dogs every day. Look up the word hypocrite in the dictionary, you'll probably find her a picture. Just recently, their president of the Humane Society of the United States was forced to resign due to sexual harassment. And in 2014, they had a $15.75 million settlement of a federal racketeering lawsuit. Really credible people to listen to. And to you, the liar and hypocrite extraordinaire, Miss McFall, we say, come on, man. Talking about liars, scammers, and fraudsters, who do we have left? Oh yes, Christine Dorchak, founder, Gray 2K, USA. I wouldn't buy a car from this lady, much less a fact. The ringleader, Gray 2K, was founded by her. That's a fact. In 1992, either purposely or accidentally, she was hit by a train in Boston. That's a fact. She subsequently tried to sue the MBTA, the operator of the train, in 1994, and the jury found against her. Fact. In sworn court testimony, she testified she has no memory of that day or the accident. That's a fact from the court docs. In 2001, she put out a video with graphic details of the accident, a promo piece, if you will, for Gray 2K to get people to donate to her epiphany cause of saving dogs. That's a fact. If you Google Miss Dorchak's name, you'll find hundreds of interviews about the accident. Fact. If she testified under oath that she had no memory, where do these stories of the accident come from? In court testimony, there were no witness mentions, though she says a lady in a nearby building heard the crash, came to check on her. She stated she had no memory of the crash, so how would she even know that? From the court records, Dorchak was a trespasser on the railroad tracks at the time of the accident. Dorchak was comparatively negligent for the injuries that she received, to such an extent as to bar the plaintiff from any recovery. No one knows why she decided, either inadvertently or inadvertently, to throw herself in front of a train that day. But we do know since that day she's lived a life of lies, misrepresentations, vilifying an industry of innocent people, and fraud. We've seen it in Massachusetts. We've seen this before, but we'll quote it again. You should be equally appalled by the efforts of a group called Gray 2K to wage a ruthless campaign of deceit, distortion, and defamation of character. Radical animal rights activists are determined to kill the greyhound industry in the state by any means necessary, which is why they weren't the least bit embarrassed when forced to admit that much of their advertising has been fraudulent. Spreading lies, deceit, misinformation, and committing fraud for many years. The lady who has never met a lie she didn't like, Christine Dorchak. Come on, man.